Welcome to the Back 9 Six-Pack with Mitch and Justin. Let's roll.
Hello and welcome to episode 45 of the Back 9 Six-Pack. My name is Mitch, joined as always by my esteemed colleague Justin. Good vibes in here tonight. I feel the energy, feel the flow.
It was a beautiful day today.
Oh.
I took the top off on the Jeep. You had a club fitting.
And I'm currently wearing a golf outfit in shorts.
You are.
In February.
I've got shorts on. I don't have a golf outfit on, but...
Yeah, I just walked outside from the office today, knew I was going to a club fitting, and I was just like bebopping my way downtown.
Didn't matter what happened the rest of the day.
No. It was fantastic. You had to get, did you get a patio beer, an actual patio beer? Or just a beer?
Well, I walked outside and had it. Yeah, it was too nice. There was no way I was going to sit in my kitchen and drink a beer. I was like, I'm going outside for this bad boy.
Had to.
Shorts, t-shirt, went outside, tossed the Frisbee with the dog. It was great.
Yeah, I got to tell you, the weather's really challenging. This, for some reason, decided to do this 30-day window of sobriety. Whew, it's tough right now.
Yeah, and if it continues to get better, I don't know how you're going to last. There's just no way.
Yeah.
There was from 12 o'clock today to 5:30 when I finally had the beer. All I could think about was sitting on the patio and drinking a beer, when the sun's out and all that. It was just, that's all I could think about.
Yeah, and you're trying to tempt me, trying to send out birthday invites to local watering holes.
Yeah. We'll get to that later. Yeah. That's part of my Patio Beers question. But,
all right.
Yeah, it's just, when the weather turns like this, I don't think there's anything better than it. Just you can feel, I see buds on my tree in the backyard. That thing's ready to fucking start sprouting leaves.
Yeah, we've got flowers in the flower beds that are starting to, some greenery's coming up. We're close. We're so close.
But we are good for a March snow. So I'm not going to get my hopes up too high.
Ugh.
We are. We're good for one. At least.
We're good for April snows, to be honest.
Yeah, so, I know. That was a couple years ago. We had a snow in April, which is just devastating to the mental psyche.
Truly. But yeah, today was good for the mental psyche. I'm opening my Liquid Death. You got twist-offs.
Yeah, I already opened mine.
That's right. Ceremoniously. There we go.
I think I sent in the text group. I was like, I knew I was going to at least have a beer when I get home. And I knew I was going to drink while we record tonight. I was like, we're just going to have to skip dinner. This is my dinner, which is risky. It can be That's risky.
Yeah. What's the workout look like tomorrow?
Tomorrow is boot camp day, and following Saturday's boot camp, guy who's like, "Oh, I forgot to build a workout, so we're gonna do this Christmas one." It was called the 12 Days of Christmas, and the first day was a lap. Well. If you go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, you just keep going down and by the end of it, every lap, it's not a track. It's, you kind of run down the stairs, across, up the stairs and back to the room. It's about an eighth of a mile. So the first step in the 12 Days of Christmas was an eighth of a mile. Well, if you do the math, it's 22 laps. Which turns into about a little over 2 miles.
Yeah.
Toast. Then you throw in burpees in there, 80 jump ropes on the 8th day of Christmas. I wrecked. And my poor daughter, she can't go to the kids watch anymore. She's 10, so you're working out with us. She caught the brunt end of the bat. This was her first workout, and she was like, "Are they all this hard?" I was like, "This is the hardest one I've had in 2 months." I could barely walk out of the room. I the rest of the day I wanted to do absolutely nothing. So that's tomorrow. I don't think it's usually during the week. They try to keep them easier. They don't want to put you through the gauntlet of work and then come in and just absolutely bash your head in. So we'll see what that is. But tomorrow's boot camp.
Yeah. Lots of water for you tomorrow.
Yeah, we're really after the show tonight. Yeah. We're gonna hit the water pretty hard, but because I'm recovering from pickleball back.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. So I know. Speaking of good weather, you've taken up an indoor sport
for the time being.
The craze is finally overtaking you.
It was so funny. You said it perfectly. You're like, I knew as soon as you got a little sniff of it in Mexico that you were going to get addicted. I'm officially addicted.
Yeah, I knew you were going to find a gateway drug in Mexico. I just didn't know it was going to be to pickleball. But
That's so perfect. But I truly, and it is an addicting. I'm looking at fucking paddles today online. Like, I'm full in, and I'm trying to talk myself out of buying like $140 paddle. Like, that's where I'm at in the stages of like getting addicted to pickleball.
I was going to ask, what's the gear situation? Like, how much can you really, golf, there's a lot of associated expenditures, right? Is pickleball, I mean, you can't only go so deep, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like shoes. They've lines are starting to come out with shoes and stuff for pickleball, which are very equivalent to like tennis shoes, right? Sure. I mean, they've got some cool stuff out there for shoes. And then it's like really racket. I mean, or paddle, that's really about it. I mean, yeah. Apparently there's one that just came out that keeps selling out that's like Kevlar. It's the only Kevlar paddle out there.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's called the Ruby. I know all this shit now. I'm officially in the squad. Yeah, the pickleball squad.
You're already in deep.
In my defense, so just so everybody knows, we've had a world-class pickleball facility just opened up, 10 minutes from us.
Oh, I wasn't even aware of that. But
yeah, it's called the Pickle Lodge. It is world-class. I mean, it's the largest one in the Midwest for sure. Huh. I think it's like the second or third largest one in the country as far as like number of courts, size of the facility, everything like that. It's phenomenal. And they're planning on having professional tournaments there. It is a legit pickleball facility. They called it like Bros, Bangers, and Brews. It was like a guys like open play. I got my head bashed in for the first 3 or 4 matches. They do have like a handicap system like golf.
Yeah.
It's not how we do it, like where we post a score. You actually have to get assessed by like a pro. They have a pro too, like a golf pro. You have to get assessed by them, and then they rank you by +4 is really good. I played a couple like +3.5s, which are pretty good. And I think it goes all the way down to like 0, I believe. Like 0 is like you're kind of a novice. But I got my head bashed, and I did end up winning a couple games, but I got a little bit of a street ping pong in me because it's very similar to ping pong.
Yeah.
And what I mean by street ping pong, I want to spin the fuck out of everything. Like I'm trying to hit cut shots, and it's just, you can, but it's not like ping pong.
Right.
You can't fucking spin the shit out of it. You can, but it's not as easy.
Sure.
That's what I called it, street ping pong. And the guy I was playing with thought it was the funniest thing in the world. He's like, I've never heard it called that before. So
yeah. I've yet to dive into pickleball. I am curious about it. There's just only so much time, and it's like I'm choosing to put my time specifically towards golf, but I'm willing to give it a go here. So
my thinking behind it is I'm getting involved in it a little late in the winter, right?
Yeah.
But my thinking behind it is, when golf weather ends, October, whenever that is, I just kind of transition into pickleball, and that'll be like, and I'll tell you this, like the exercises, it's not a big court, and you play doubles most of the time. Like you can play singles, but like I burned like almost 700 calories on Friday night. Yeah. Like you're still moving. Like it's just because it's a smaller court than tennis doesn't necessarily mean that it's not great exercise. But that's my goal, like, is to kind of like transition, maybe play a couple times over the summer, like at a park if I get the opportunity to. But for the most part, it's like kind of transition into that and like that be my like winter sport kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to take away from golf for sure.
No. Well, this is a golf podcast, so
it might become a pickleball podcast. You never know.
You never know. We could just ride the wave with the pickleball. It's got real inertia.
I mean, it does. It is trending.
Yeah. Hey, help us trend. You could subscribe, rate, and review the show. Follow us on social media. That would be fantastic. At Back96Pack, wherever you get your social media. I had a fitting, as we discussed earlier.
It happened quickly.
It did. I did not take your advice to go practice a little bit. I took the approach of I just need to make this happen as soon as possible. I wanted to make sure that I'm going to get these things in time for the start of the season, which is hopefully quickly approaching here. First thing off the bat, I got to say, getting to Miles tonight with the weather being what it was, holy shit, it was packed.
I can't even imagine that place tonight.
The beer garden was open, everything
God.
just I just got out of the car and it was instant good mood. I was transported out of the winter into
Do they have music
spring.
going on?
Yeah,
sometimes
music was going. There's people everywhere, people chipping, people putting, people playing the top tracer machine thing, whatever that is. So yeah, I was already just all right, we're back.
God,
I know. So I just first off just said it.
My mind's just going straight to when is Wednesday Night League starting? Thinking about this,
When we've talked about it with our goals and all that stuff, I want to actually spend a little bit of time trying to play well and get down to that 5-something handicap. So I'm just excited to be back at a range at this point, just doing something golf related. But to the fitting, number one, shout out Sean, the GOAT. Just awesome process.
I told you, he's very good at it.
Yeah.
And he does it fairly. And what I mean by that is he doesn't try to upsell you. He tries to put you in something that truly fits you, right?
Yeah, and which was also good for me was I was rusty. I didn't, so we had a lot of early low left going, and he was he sorted that out with me before we actually started the fitting. So I was all right, I'm hitting actual golf shots now. This is good. That's a good thing. Look, I'll just start where we ended up. I'm back. I've rejoined the team.
Welcome.
Team Titleist.
Welcome.
Thank you.
As a Titleist rep, welcome.
Yes, thank you. You're on staff, as we all know. So wound up with the T200s. We are 2 degrees flat because of the lefts and the toe shots, of course.
But I could have guessed that even if you had if you were getting fitted for these in July, you would have probably been that.
Oh yeah. That's just
you just come from the inside.
The nature of my
is what
strikes.
it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm more shallow than I even possibly realized. The attack angle is just constantly negative, just hitting up on every iron.
What did Tiger say when he shanked it? He was you get that heel coming in first.
He presented Hosel first. Yeah. No, dude. It's anyway. That's gonna get another note. TrackMan would give me a complex if I was around it way too much. It's so fascinating. I'm such a golf nerd, data head.
To me, I love it, but sometimes I'm holy shit, I don't need all this stuff in my head.
Yeah, I mean, it's just awesome because you're standing there. A couple things. One, I would hit it, and Sean would be all right, and he'd just see the initial number of club head speed, ball speed, or whatever, or launch angle.
Yep,
and he's
spin,
all
probably.
right. He's all right, that went this far, and it was right there. And two, I got the good feedback of my feel for my swing and the contact I make is actually really good. I would hit it, and because you have the visualization of with the path and where you hit the club face or whatever, I'd be oh, that was thin, or oh, that was on the toe. So the feelings you have, you can see them. And you're oh, shit,
visual. Yeah, it's
really that was actually on the toe. It wasn't just I was thinking that or something.
Yep.
So,
let me ask you this: do you know what your attack angle was?
I can pull it up. Yeah. Hold on.
I'm always curious about that because that was something I've really tried to work on is an attack angle. Only because I'm only getting older, and I the attack angle is something I can control, and it should help me hit it a little further.
This was on one of my better shots, negative 1.4.
It's not great.
No, like I said,
you're a sweeper.
Yes, I've always been a sweeper for sure.
I know, which is not a bad thing, to be honest.
No, but I mean, obviously, if I had a steeper attack angle, I'd compress it.
But you probably hit the ball better on firm conditions.
There are times when it helps me because I don't dig.
Yeah.
So anyway, we tried a couple different shafts. So just going through the process a little bit, the initial shaft he put in my hand, I was really impressed with. It was such a difference. My clubs felt heavy to me, my current ones.
And they probably were.
It was S300 XP shafts, so
okay.
A little bit of a heavier shaft. But these that he gave to me were also S300s, but a newer version or whatever. And it's really just, I guess, look, I'm not that big of a gearhead to know, but the way that the weight was dispersed or whatever you want to say, it felt lighter. So like I could feel like I felt the weight like in the heel of the club almost.
Yeah.
Rather than like all the way throughout or in my hands.
Yeah. Yep.
So they felt lighter, but they're the same exact weight basically as what I was playing already.
How many grams?
I think it was like 115, 160, something like that. That could be. I could be way out.
No,
my
that sounds. I think that's about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm at like 110 or something like that.
I could be wrong too, but I think.
But
it was
I
like
also like a
110.
lighter shaft, so
I tried a lighter shaft. Well, it was like I said, this is a weird thing because it was like technically a lighter shaft, but it felt heavier to me just by the way the swing was.
Oh, and how
whatever.
it was like dispersed and everything.
Yeah, it was a Project X shaft that they're. I guess this specific shaft that he was having me try was like a variable weighting. So it was like heavier in your scoring irons and lighter as you went up the bag.
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, so I was a little uneasy, and I didn't hit it very well, so I didn't go with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm in a similar shaft, obviously different club head. So just as an example of like the difference we're talking about here, my previous 7-iron, I had 81.5 swing speed, 108 ball speed, launched at 21 degrees, it carries 151 yards.
Okay.
Not great. It's a range ball. It's still kind of winterish.
Yeah.
It's not going to go as far.
And just FYI, like Miles, they're at like the bottom of the barrel for their golf balls right now.
Yeah.
Dude, if you can find a round one in there, you're lucky.
He was like literally handpicking them and like rolling out good ones to me. It was funny.
Trust me, I was there on Friday. It was bad.
So like for example, I would say my typical 7-iron like during a round, I'm 160, 165.
Yeah.
So
we've played enough golf together. That sounds about right.
Yeah. With the new 7-iron, the T200, 81 again on the swing speed, 117.5 ball speed. So picked up almost 10 miles an hour ball speed. Launched a little lower, 18.7. I think that's because it's like a degree or two. Okay,
I was going to ask you, what's the degree difference between your now 7-iron and the new 7-iron?
It's like a couple degrees.
Okay.
172 carry. So Sean's just
don't
handing me equipment and giving me 20 yards.
Don't hate it.
Do not hate it. And it was honestly more of just like the difference in the ball flight, where it was just kind of like when I hit this thing good, it wasn't like that. You know how I would hit like kind of the tight draw, but it would kind of just like drop out of the sky.
Yeah.
This thing was like gone.
Piercing.
So like I mean, I forget which number. The height of both of these club or balls that I hit was the same, 92 feet, but 20 more yards of carry.
Yeah, so that means it's really flying.
Just
it's got some pop behind it.
Yeah, and so those are the clubs we ended up with.
Which one? So the Titleist
T200.
200.
Which
so
is
did he say the difference? Because like I said, I knew the difference between like the AP1, AP2.
Sure.
What is the difference between like the T100?
So the T100 is like I don't know if they're technically a muscle back, but it's like that kind of club.
That's what I thought. I've seen the T100s.
I hit the 150 as well, which I liked, but my misses were not as forgiving.
Yeah.
And I was hooking him a little more.
Okay.
And that's more of like I don't know, like I think about it in terms because I was playing the TaylorMade.
It's like a hybrid between like a muscle back and like a cavity back.
Essentially. So the T200 doesn't have a technical cavity.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
And looking down on it, it looks awesome. It's still pretty sleek look and everything.
It's a big part.
And so like there's like the T100, which is like the pro tour player level, whatever, plus handicappers.
Yeah.
The 150 is kind of like I would guess low scratch that territory. Yeah. The 200 is probably like where I'm at, like mid cap to maybe around a 10. I don't know.
And then like what the T300
and the T350, I hit these things. Those things are fucking rocket ships.
I was going to say, they're probably they're game improvement irons. Like,
I didn't get them because
you've been in a 7-iron from like 190.
No, seriously, the good balls were like going like 180, 185. Oh, God. But then like the shitty one would be like around.
And you have there's no reason to hit us.
Yeah, I don't want to, I'm not trying to catch not a flyer.
I might just get new irons and just go with the T350.
Dude, you can literally feel like the trampoline effect when you hit it. Like it feels like it loads and springs.
And that's the problem. Is there's like no control behind that.
That's
what
I
mean.
Fear
like
was.
If you're like below a 15 handicap, there's just zero control. I would even say below a 10, there's just zero control in that.
Yeah, and we toyed around with the idea of like, okay, a little mix set, right? Like take 8 through wedge and put it in the 150 for me. But I was like, at the end of the day, I was like, I might try to like knock those clubs down a little bit or something, but I'm not really working the ball.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have the consistency
Yeah.
of the feel of the club and looking at it and all that.
That's exactly what happened to me. Like, I went in, I'm doing a mix set, and then all of a sudden I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, no. Like, I'll just give me all the AP2s.
And then the upper side of the bag, we experimented with the utility iron for my 4-iron instead of getting a regular 4-iron. I don't know if I was just tired or what was going on, but I hit that thing like dog shit.
Yeah.
And then the 4-iron that I was hitting, like I was starting to get the actual 4-iron up in the 200, like over 200, which my current 4-iron's like 190. And I was approaching like 205. And so I think like that, I'm going to cause an issue in the upper part of my bag now where I'm probably going to lose a hybrid. Yeah. Which could be a good news.
No, it's probably a good thing. Maybe give you a little flexibility in what else to put in there.
Exactly. I might throw 3-wood back in the bag and try to figure out how to hit that thing and just keep one hybrid or whatever. But didn't end up going with the utility hybrid, just stuck with a regular 4 through pitching wedge setup.
Yeah, I don't think you're there yet.
No, me either. And then we're going to bend a couple degrees in, I think, 8 down to wedge to match up with my current wedge setup.
Okay.
So I'm still going to roll pitching wedge into 50, 54, 58.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling dialed, and I am fucking excited.
Now I kind of want new irons.
Dude, it was so much fun just to go and do it and see the numbers and like literally see, okay, that club that I've been playing is like potentially costing me 20 yards. Yeah.
And probably some,
And those weren't fit to me. So
forgiveness, probably.
So that's a big thing. I forgot to mention that too. One, having the 2 degrees flat was a massive help. I was like, the dispersion just kept getting tighter with that in play. And 2, the miss hits, to your point, what you just said. That, my old 7-iron, like, if I miss hit that thing, it's like a club short, at least.
Yeah, I've seen you miss hit it. It doesn't go like 5 yards shorter. It goes like 12 yards shorter.
Yes.
That's a big difference.
Massive. I mean, that's the difference between coming up short on a green
and being like, or front or like almost middle-ish, yeah.
So these were costing me on miss hits that were like not complete, Waffle House balls or whatever. It's like 5 yards. Like it's a manageable.
I wish I didn't have anything to do tonight. I really wanted to come over and watch this.
You should have. It was awesome. And then, so he was like, hey, we still got like, a couple minutes left. You want to hit anything else? And I was like, well, and so I did try out one of the Titleist hybrids because we were talking about that upper part of the bag and the gapping.
They're pretty good.
It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Not going to lie.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to scrap everything above a 7-iron, just go full hybrids on everything.
I mean,
just adapt to the old man game before I need to.
I could have juiced, I could have put the 350s in.
Dude, you should have just juiced it.
6 to 4.
You would have to buy clubs for 20 years.
Those things felt so uncontrollable. It was like
you're hitting a flyer every time, pretty much.
Yeah, it was like somebody handed me uranium or something, and I was just ready to.
It's like, don't blow the world up.
Yeah, it was. They were wild. I couldn't believe how hot those things.
Yeah,
were.
those game improvement clubs are. Part of me just wants to get them and just go out there and be like, yeah, I hit 7-iron 195. You know what I mean?
You might honestly, I swear to God, you might hit that thing 220.
It just to be a dick about it.
Yeah. Well,
and then they see them, they're like, oh, you got the T350s. That 7-iron's really like a 5-iron.
I also don't know how you would be able to fit all your clubs in the bag with those club heads in there. They'd just all be touching.
It's they look like all hybrids.
Here comes Justin. He's just rattling his 350s around.
Hey, it's not much different than the slingshots I used to carry around. Were you around for that?
I wasn't around when you had them, but I know
you weren't.
You had them.
Oh yeah, our boy, Kyle Nixon, he always made fun of me for those things. Dude, those things were fucking hot though. I mean, I remember I had them when I was 12 to 15.
Yeah.
And I was the first one in my age group hitting a 7-iron 175. These things were they were game improvement. I can't believe someone let me get them.
Yeah.
I can't believe my dad was just no, tell me no, or someone just tell me, an adult in the room just tell me this is not the club I need. But those things were so hot. I remember I was came out in the winter, I was hitting 7-iron 175, and all the guys I played junior golf were like, God dang, he got long over them. At the time, I'm yeah, I was just, been doing some stuff over the winter.
Yeah.
And it's like, in reality, it was like, that thing was probably like 2 degrees, it was probably more like a 6 or almost closer to a 5 iron at the time.
Sure.
But yeah, it was funny. Like, I remember those clubs. Those were game improvement clubs, I think. And then if you were like swinging downwind, you'd like take them back and they'd like whistle because they had like a hollow back.
They had the hollow back.
Those things were the worst. Oh my God, Nike should never make another club ever again.
No, I remember like the Sasquatch drivers.
Those things were
sounded like a beer can on the end of a stick when you'd hit it.
Oh, like the fact that Anthony Kim played as good of golf as he did with a Sasquatch driver honestly proves how talented he is. Like
Tiger, man.
Those drivers were just trash.
Oh yeah,
trash.
It's not good.
So,
but yeah, now look, we're getting them ordered. I've been told it potentially could be like 10 days.
Oh my God, I'll tell you, there's nothing like opening like a new box of irons.
I can't tell you how quickly I will be at a range. I don't even care if there's snow on the ground.
I've only done it realistically twice in my life.
Yeah.
And one was like the best Christmas I ever had when I was 16 years old and I got my 695 MB Titleist clubs. And then the AP2s I got 4 years ago. You just open the box, you're like, holy shit. I will go play golf in any weather right now.
Right.
It's fantastic. I can't wait for you to do that.
I know. Then we got to find time to play.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, that's enough about me and my golf adventures. But God, we were so close. It just telling you, going to Miles tonight and just everybody there. People are excited. Golf is in the air.
You can taste it.
All right, I'm looking at this old sheet of paper. I got to pull up the agenda now, but we're moving on to the Mexico Open. At Vedanta?
I think they were in Puerto Vallarta is where that's at, by the way.
That's
western coast of mainland Mexico. I just want to clarify because I think I said like East Coast or something last week. So just to verify.
I can't remember what you said.
Just to clarify what I said.
Sure. But thank you for correcting me.
I'm a Mexico geography
expert.
Not an expert, but like I don't know. I'm trying to learn. Yeah, like I'm trying to learn more about it.
Okay, I respect that. Jake Knapp won, which
dude's electric, by the way.
Yeah, and I didn't realize he was. So he's 29. I didn't know. I just assumed, I was like, oh, he's probably some whatever. He's 22 or something. No, he's been grinding for a while.
No,
Corn Ferry Tour graduate.
Yep. Became a bouncer like 2 years ago. He ran out of money.
Yeah, there was a lot going around on social media, just some of the wild things he's...
Which, by the way, like, he's not big. Like,
no.
He's not tall. And when I saw he was a bouncer, I'm like, that's the bouncer, though, you do not want to mess with. Like, everybody thinks it's the big guy. No, it's the little guy that's... might have a couple screws loose. That's him.
Yeah.
Like...
The guy that looks like he doesn't belong there is probably the one you should be the most afraid of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, dude, his swing is, oh, man, envy.
I mean, just, dude was sending it.
Oh, he sends it every time. And it's effortless, too, by the way.
Yeah.
But, I think he played pretty good a couple weeks ago. Was that?
No, he's been trending.
Yeah, he's been playing pretty good golf.
A lot of the stuff I listen to and fantasy golf stuff, a lot of people have been talking him up. I know a lot of people bet him this week.
Yeah.
Not us. 1.7% picked in the one and done, by the way. So he had a few people that got a nice payday. The big news for us, look, Stephen Jaeger, our guy, came through, fire Sunday to finish T3, picked up what? I don't even know what that paid, $400,000.
Yeah, probably
something like that.
Somewhere in there, maybe slightly less than 400 with the ties.
Yeah, so he turned out to be the third most owned option. Like he was like 9%.
That's wild, though. Like
I know. It's just the world we swim in. Like, you know what I mean? The
like we thought we were totally going against the stream with that.
Still, it was kind of. Finau was 25.8% owned.
That's not surprising. I knew that was going to be pretty hefty.
Beat those guys. Hogard was 14.8%. So picked up some ground on the people that played him because he finished T52. Finau T13. Pendrith 7.8% owned and Dietrich 6.1% owned. Both missed the cut.
Yeah.
So we had a
We gained
decent
some
week.
ground.
Yeah.
We
Being
needed
able to
that.
pick Jake Knapp, notwithstanding,
Yeah.
decent week. Picked up a lot of ground. We are finally over $1 million, $1.2 million.
Okay. Well,
2,000, about 2,000's place.
Rome wasn't built in the day.
Right.
So
And we're only $600K out of the money. So we're
a lot of golf
hovering-
left.
ton of golf left. I already talked about some of our other options we had. The only other two I didn't mention, Higo was your other option. He was like tied for 60th.
Yeah.
Last.
Yeah.
And I, like I said previously, Dietrich missed the cut, and that was the other guy I brought up. So, again, we maximized our pick here of all the guys we named. Love to see that.
But shout out to Jägermeister coming through on Sunday.
Massive shout out.
I going into Sunday, I was like, you know what? Like we gotta put our money where our mouth is. I took a top 5 bet before the round started. It's like plus 470. Definitely a long shot. I mean, he played really good on Sunday. I don't know.
Yeah.
What did he shoot? Like 64, 65?
I think he was like 6 under or something.
Yeah.
Like that, 7
So it was like 65, I think, because
Yeah.
I think it's par 71. So he shot 6 under on Sunday. Cashed that bet, but dude, we needed that. Like I was like, I saw him climb up the leaderboard. I don't think you were watching. I'm like, oh shit, here comes our boy.
Yeah, I just got the eyeball emoji text from you. I was like, uh-oh, got to check the leaderboard.
But it was nice to see him squeak into the top 5. It's like, okay, like he's probably not going to win. That's fine. If we can get a top 5, I'll feel pretty good.
Yeah, because I mean, I had been texting you like every night, like, God damn it, we'd be in such a good spot if he could make a birdie on a par 5.
Yeah, he played the par 5s very poorly.
So it sounds like he got his stuff together on Sunday.
Yeah.
Which was good. The Cognizant Classic this week at the Palm Beaches, formerly known as the Honda.
The Honda Classic.
Yeah. We were talking about this before we went on. Kind of like, one, it's probably always just going to be the Honda. We're just going to know it as that.
Yeah.
And two, like this, it's a golf course I don't want to play, but this tournament does seem to like, even with weaker fields, there's always good finishes.
Yeah, and I love this golf course. It's hard. It's not
Yeah.
like it's a different style of golf, and what I mean by that is like it's fucking tight. Like
There's so much water on this
dude,
course.
there's a lot of water, there's a lot out of bounds. Like it's just tight. Like that's you feel like when I played it, it feels like you never get a break from like, okay, this hole's a little wide open. I can kind of like let it fly. There's like no hole like that. Truly no hole like that. Maybe 18.
Yeah, 18 feels like guys.
Because like you got a lot of room left. Like you
Yeah.
can kind of like you can kind of open it up a little bit. But like other than that, like it's not an easy golf course. And you know, the Bear Trap, well-known Bear Trap, what is it, like 15, 16, 17?
Yep.
Those holes are, you know, it includes 2 par 3s, which is crazy. But those holes are no joke. Like, we've seen guys in the past in this tournament kind of come down the stretch and crap down their legs in those holes because they're just knotty. And 16 is knotty. I mean, it's long.
Yeah.
It's kind of tight. There's bunkers everywhere. There's water. The green's gigantic. It's got a slope in the middle of it. Like, it's a good finishing. And then, like you said, we've gotten good finishes there because I think it's just like you have a good stretch of finishing holes, which is like half the battle. And like
Yeah,
getting
there's
a good
room.
finish.
There's too many times I feel like on the PGA Tour where you're like looking at the holes down the stretch.
You're like, oh, just because it's going to milk the clock.
Yeah,
and
it's
like,
going to coast his way in. There's like a par 5 that's like a giveaway birdie or whatever, and it's just like
Yeah.
nothing exciting happens.
Yeah, that is definitely not the case this week.
Yeah, this is one where just true chaos can happen. Which,
Yep.
look, it's more fun, sure. Is it more fair? Probably not. But these guys are the best in the world at this for a reason.
Yeah,
Just don't hit it in the water and you'll be good.
good.
The other thing, too, is like this is definitely much more of a position off the tee
100%
approach kind of course.
Yeah.
I think I heard like the driving distance on this course is like 20 yards lower than the average tour stop.
Yep. Yeah.
So a lot of guys choosing position off the tee versus distance.
Position, and it's at sea level too, so the ball's just naturally going to go
True.
shorter too. I mean, you want to talk about like different philosophies of golf? Like this past week in Mexico, Bomber's Paradise. This week is, a lot of 3-woods off the tee, a lot of irons off the tee, putting yourself in position to hit it closer rather than like, I'm just going to hit this 340 yards and then go wedge it up there kind of deal. So
yeah, and I will say too, as much as I love the West Coast swing, and it's my favorite part of the season,
the Florida swing's where it's at, though.
Florida is where like tour golf kind of kicks off.
Yeah.
I think like in earnest. You've
Yep.
got 6 weeks to the Masters. Some classic events here.
Back in this time zone.
Yeah, back in early morning tee times.
Love that. I hate waiting till 9:30 to wait for golf to start. Like, that's not fun.
Yeah, well, I think the days of frost delays are gone finally. Hopefully.
Yeah,
And,
you would hope. I mean, at least this week it's pretty far south, but
right.
The Arnold Palmer, possibly. Orlando's a little north. You get a cold front that rolls through, maybe, but
Yeah.
I love the Florida swing. It's I love this tournament. And I love the Arnold Palmer. Then you go right into the players. Like it's a good.
Yep, you have Valspar in there too.
Yeah, the Valspar. Yeah, it's a good mix of tournaments. I really like it.
So, what do we want to do this week? We need to. Again, it's pretty much the same situation as last week, only there's more stars here, right?
Yeah, but obviously we're not going to burn somebody big.
It's another $9 million purse, like 1.5, 1.6 to the winner. Feels like another spot to maybe, even though we didn't end up technically swerving, feels like another spot we could maybe.
Yeah, and I definitely think the names I have, one popped off the page.
Yeah, one, I think we might have an overlap, and I think it's probably going to be popular, if I had to guess.
Do you think so?
Possibly.
Okay. Well, I'll start.
Okay.
No particular order. I think this golf course fits this guy's game really well. Played some junior golf with this guy, actually. Malone University. Shout out to all the Division II golfers out there. Justin Lower played really well this past week. I don't think he snuck in the top 5. I think he T5'd in Mexico. Not the longest hitter in the world. He's straight, and that's really what this course is built for, right? Like, it's going to reward hitting straight tee shots, right? And then I don't think he's like the world's best iron player, but I think if you give him enough chances from the middle of the fairway, and he's going to be in the fairway more than most guys, I think he would be, and that's definitely a swerve pick, right? Like, that's not going to be popular at all.
Massive swerve. You amaze me with the swerve picks you keep throwing out every week.
And he's playing some good golf. Other than Mexico, he's played some good golf this year too.
No, Mexico he finished T3.
Or T. Okay, so he tied Stephen Jaeger. Okay.
Yep.
He was around there. He might have birdied the last hole and maybe squeaked into that T3, but he's been playing good golf this year, and he's a grinder, man. And this course is gonna. I mean, it does require some grinding mental mindset with how tight it is and things like that. So
he's hitting it well. He's currently 17th on tour in approach. He loses off the tee, but that's mostly because he's a little subpar in distance.
Yeah, he's not long. He is not the longest guy in the world.
He's positive in total driving and driving accuracy. He's 62nd on tour right now. So I mean. He's hitting 75% of his greens. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Shit, proximity 15th on tour right now.
Yeah. He's played good golf this year. Yeah.
That's one you'll have to talk me into, but I respect you for bringing up Justin Lower right now.
Look, he is he is the nicest guy on tour, like, that I've encountered. Like, it's so funny. Took my assistant out to the Memorial last year. And I was like, yeah, I played some junior golf with him and stuff like that. And she was like, you don't know him. And we're sitting behind 4. And he's like, hey, Justin, boom, fist bump me. She was like, oh my God, you do know him. He's a super nice guy. And if you don't know his story, look it up. But he is, I'm so happy for him, dude. He's playing some really, really good golf. And this course, I feel like it might be the week. It might be.
Man.
And like I said, in no particular order, but he's near the top for me. And because it is such a swerve pick and he's playing good, just feels like we could really, really pick up some ground if he plays well this week.
God,
especially with all the stars.
The problem
right?
is I want to root for that. So it's like I could easily be swayed. But man, I'll be honest with you, it feels like a slight reach.
He's not the guy that popped off the page to me.
Yeah.
But
okay. I stayed much more chalky with my guys. Shane Lowry, world-class player. I think he's got
plays well in Florida, by the way.
Back-to-back top 5 this course the last 2 years. Didn't play great, I think, his last time out, but he's a guy that just shows up and can he'll
it's like one week he just shows up and it's like, oh, okay, he's,
I don't worry too much about his form generally.
No.
So that's the first guy I'll offer up is Shane Lowry.
Okay. This is probably a little chalky. Not crazy about it. I don't think he's played his best golf in the last 4 to 5 months. Sepp Straka.
Yeah, I looked at Sepp. Didn't make my list, but good history here. Obviously, he's won.
Yeah,
he's also got another
that's
kind
of where I was going with that. Yeah, but I'll tell you, man, he didn't play well he didn't play well in the Ryder Cup. Hasn't really had the greatest start to the year.
T12 at Century, cut at Farmers, T26 at Pebble, cut at the Genesis.
But that's what I'm saying. Like a player of his caliber to have 2 missed cuts in that short of a time span is.
Yeah.
He's too good of a ball striker, first off.
That's the thing, yeah. He T5 here last year, and he won the year before, so
yeah,
good history here as well.
So, but he's kind of one of those names, if he starts playing really well, you kind of maybe want him down the stretch. So I was like, but I don't know. Because he is, man, when he's hot, it's call it a day.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Was that
pack it in.
The John Deere or something
it was the John Deere this past year. He shot 61 or something like that, or 60 or something crazy like that.
Yeah, he was probably in my top 5, one of the last guys I cut from my top 3 here, so I could also be on board with that one. Number 2 for me finally feels like a spot we could do it, burn him, whatever you want to say. Eric Cole.
Yeah, I have him on my list.
I think he's going to be a massive shot.
But I will tell you this. It's not my number 1. He's not the guy that jumped off the page. I'm saving that for later. But I have him on my list.
Yeah, I just feel like he's going to be chalk. He came in second last year. Couldn't quite get it done. He's playing well. Finally had a week off.
Definitely seems not swimming against the stream.
No.
This is going to be
that would be
the
protect
popular pick.
That'd be the punt pick of the week, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's match the field and move on, kind of thing.
Yeah, especially if you've had a win already.
Yeah,
probably pretty popular.
I think so.
Do you want to know the guy jumped off the page to me?
Oh God, sure.
Denny McCarthy.
Okay, I feel like I haven't heard his name a lot. Is he playing any good?
I'm going more for course fit. Hits it straight, putts it well. Just seems like a really good course fit. And as soon as I was kind of going through the field, I'm like it kind of he's probably gonna be 20th favorite, somewhere in that range. Probably won't be the most picked guy in the world. I don't think he's playing particularly well this year.
I'm looking right now. I don't think he played last week, but T39 at Genesis, T22 Phoenix, T26 Pebble. Nothing great.
I mean, nothing crazy. Yeah.
No, it feels like top 20-ish,
It feels, to me, on the course fit, it feels like the floor is really high, but I don't know how high the ceiling could get. He could win.
Yeah, he played well last year in general, but missed the cut here. But there's so much water, man. You can easily miss the cut.
Yeah.
T30 in 2022 and T3 in 2021.
To me, though, when you get on a course like this and guys are going to have consistently, you're going to have longer shots, not super long shots into the green, but because you're laying back, you're going to have guys just aren't going to hit it as close, right? Sure. So you look at it and go, okay, I want a putter. Well, his putting is phenomenal.
That's what I was going to say. My fear with him is he doesn't hit it well enough to really
get in those positions. Yeah. But if he can, it's who do I trust from 20 feet, him or someone else? And I'm trusting him, right?
I can just already see now. But
it's just the problem of getting to that position, because he's not the world's best ball striker, and I will admit that, but his putting is out of this world.
I can just see him now going 4 over in the bear trap on Friday to miss the cut or something. You know what I mean? That's just my fear.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. So what do we think? I'll tell you, the more we talk about it, the more I'm just I want to let it fly on my boy Justin.
God, you're an animal. So my number 1 pick was Ben On.
Oh, sorry, we didn't do your.
That's okay.
Sorry. Go ahead. So Ben On.
Yeah, playing really well.
Start of the season. He is just one of those guys that feels if it doesn't start out well, it kind of starts
it can
rolling the other direction pretty fast.
This is a volatile compound for sure. The T16 at Genesis bounced back after a rough Phoenix Open. T2 at Sony, lost in the playoff, 4th at Century. He's got 2 top 5s here in the last 3 years. T21 last year. I don't know. Ball striker, we will tilt our faces off at every time he has putter in his hand if we win his way.
Yeah, and that's kind of like one. I don't know. I'm not crazy about I'm just not crazy about that pick.
I get it
because the way I look at it. So I'm looking up Justin Lowe right now, and I want to see. So he's made 5 cuts this year. I think he's played in 6 events. So I'm looking at that and going, okay, because at this point, we just need positives. So I'm looking at how high the floor is. But I truly believe, who else was on your list? So you had him,
Shane Lowry and Eric Cole.
Shane Lowry, that's a high floor to me. I know he missed he's probably not in form, but to me, it's I feel like he's going to make the cut, right? Kind of one of those things, we're going to get a positive out of him. I just been on, it's he could win. He could miss the cut by 5.
Right.
It doesn't seem, and it feels like there's no in between in that. I don't know. We only have one overlap, but I'm not crazy about the Eric Cole pick because I just feel like it's going to be so fucking popular.
That's my thing too. Is I want to swerve off Cole, but I do not feel comfortable.
Okay, so let's
Lowry.
Okay, hold on. Let's put it this way. So next week is the Arnold Palmer, right? We've got tournaments coming down the stretch where just swerving's not even going to be an option, right?
Sure.
So this is kind of one of our last weeks to swerve for quite a while. And here, I'm going to put my sales hat on real quick. It's early enough that we can recover from it.
I mean, yeah.
Trust me. Hey, you had
Joe.
I got one. You got one. Now I'm gonna take another one, and I'm begging you. We've got to root for the underdog.
I'm with you. I just worry about the ceiling when the field's a little stronger than last week.
I think he's playing good enough, and I'll be honest.
Look,
I think some of the stars that are in the field are not playing their best golf right now.
No, that's true. I looked at Fitzpatrick.
Rory's not
playing
playing well.
shitty.
Fitzpatrick's not playing well. The stars, the quote unquote stars that are in it, are not playing. It's not Rory's on a tear. Watch out. I don't feel, and I will tell you this course does not fit his game whatsoever. And I'm honestly surprised he's playing. I think if it wasn't so close to his house that he would not be playing.
It's possible. He used to play here all the time and he's won here before, but granted, he's Rory. He could win anywhere.
Yeah,
Justin Lowry. So listen, Phoenix T53, Farmer T43, American Express T39, Sony Open T74, T64 here last year.
That sounds like a trend to me, trending up.
I feel like if he makes the cut, it's a top 40, and then we're just me.
So I don't like Ben On. Ben On is just too volatile for me. I can't handle that this weekend.
Do we just say forget it and just use Eric Cole?
Nah, I don't know. We got to swerve. We're not in the position to take chalk bets right now.
But I feel like we could swerve it, the big events, right? We could go a little off the board at Arnold Palmer and maybe make up ground that way. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the problem. At that course, big names win.
That's
fair. That's a tough golf course.
It's a signature event, so it's going to have.
And that's a tough golf course, and just unfortunately, little guys don't win there.
No, I'm with you, but we could take the stud that's going overlooked, or you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel uneasy.
Do we have a quarter in here? So we can flip a quarter. I'll
let you have this.
I will die on this hill.
All right. You're recording the video too, then, because you're going to put your face to this. Because I don't think I can do that.
And he'll probably like it. I guarantee he'll like it.
And look, I want to root for him. No, don't get me wrong, but I also want to try to get back into this thing.
No, we're going to get back in it when he top fives it this week. Trust me. The famous last words. Trust me, bro.
Yeah, trust me, bro. All right, you can
Fuck
have
it.
this one.
I'll take it. I'll take all the weight on my shoulders.
All right.
The Justins are taking all the weight on the shoulders.
Say it into the mic. Who's our pick this week?
Justin Lower, pick for the Mayo Cup. Let's go. Cognizant Classic.
Oh, my God. All right. Put it on the board.
You've been loan officered, by the way. I just sold the fuck out of you on that.
You just bullied me is what you did, for being honest.
Take it. Hey, look, we both had one. Now I'm taking another one. You'll get one down the road that I'll bend on.
That's fine. I'll give you this one too because it's
it's not a big pot. Look,
right.
we have enough time to recover. If he misses the cut, look, Justin Thomas missed the cut. Like, let's hope this Justin does a little different.
Sure.
So,
all right. While we're still talking tour, there's a couple grab bag things that are floating around. One, Anthony Kim officially debuting in LIV this week.
He's
Question?
back.
Statement? I don't know.
Maybe.
I haven't seen the latest. I mean, I saw the rumors floating.
It sounds like all reports are pointing like it's been confirmed by a couple different places that he is playing this week. And I don't quite understand why. Like, okay, I get why he's going to LIV. I get why he's coming back to golf. I don't understand why they're debuting him in a tournament that's going to be on at like 1 o'clock in the morning here.
I guess, that's a good point.
Like, because it's like no one over there is going to know who he is.
Right.
It's all over here that everybody's going to want to watch him.
Yeah, the move would have been to figure it out by Vegas, right?
That's what the rumor was, right? It was like, he's going to play in Vegas.
Yep.
Didn't happen. Now he's going to be playing in, what is it? Where is it? It's in the Middle East, right?
Yeah, it's Jeddah.
Jeddah.
Saudi Arabia.
Yep. It's an interesting move, but it sounds like it's not going to be his last tournament. Like, it's like he's going to be playing the rest of the year. So he'll be back in the States and playing, but for the first tournament, you would think you would want to capture as many eyes as possible and have him play. Like, I don't know where they're at next, but you think maybe, I don't know. It just seems weird. But trust me, I will be watching. Like, I'm going to watch. So
yeah, apparently Greg Norman tweeted sometime today that like making it official. There's some video.
Yeah, it's official. It's been confirmed by multiple different sources and things like that. So, like, I'll be watching. Like, I've watched a little LIV. I get the CW. That sounds so. I'm not trying to. I can't say it without laughing.
Right.
Like, it's like, I'm going to watch some golf on the CW right after One Tree Hill and all that.
Yeah, Gilmore Girls and yeah.
I'll be watching. I have to.
Yeah, I do. Look, there's like a lot of people that are like really trying to poo-poo the whole thing. I'm like,
dude.
One, would you be saying this if he was coming back to the PGA Tour?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So just put that aside. But two, like, why does it matter if he's like has to be seriously competitive or not? Like, people are talking about it like, oh, he hasn't played golf in 12 years. He's not going to be good. But who cares?
Who the fuck cares?
We just want to see something interesting in golf.
Yeah.
And this is interesting.
The guy's like, he's been a fucking ghost for 10 years.
More than
There's
that.
only been like 12 sightings of him. Like, like I remember I lived for like, I saw AK walking his dog at a dog park in Dallas. I'm like, I'd sit there and look at the picture for like 8 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and there was like so few, and that's the crazy thing. There's so few sightings. But then you'd hear stories like, oh, he played a money game with like Jordan Spieth and this and that. And it's like, he, whipped up on him. It's like, oh, okay. Because there was always like random stories that would get out. And shout out to his PR guy, because it's like they only like leaked the ones that they wanted out. And that was definitely on purpose, right? It's just to build the brand, and kudos to him. Everybody's worked up about it. They want to see him come back. Apparently he has been playing in money games and just kicking the shit out of people, is the rumor. So, yeah, who cares? Dude, the guy from like Golf Digest like doubled down on his article. It was like, Anthony Kim's not who you remember. I don't care, dude.
Right.
Like, you're not fun at parties. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
I don't know what else to say. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, I get it. Like, the mystique may go away, if he comes out and he's, shooting in the 80s every time, whatever, fine. But at least we know at that point.
Yeah, and he's probably not, but
Right.
is he going to go out and shoot 63? No, probably not. But it's going to be fun to watch him play golf again.
Yeah. It's at a minimum intriguing, right? Like, who cares?
Yeah, and he's probably got crazy amount of sponsorships lined up. Like, the guy's going to make money. I think his insurance is up this year. I think that's the big thing of, like, why he's coming back. I think it was like a 10-year insurance policy or whatever. So that's why now, just like all of a sudden, it's like he's coming back. I don't think he needs money. It was a pretty hefty insurance policy, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I might have to go back and watch, the Ryder Cup match with Sergio, and some old highlight clips.
Gets me
back nine at Augusta.
If I ever need to get like worked up about something, like I watched like the highlights from that match. Like, the guy was running to the 14th tee when the match was over. Like, I was like, God, he wanted to put it to Sergio even more than he already did. Like, the guys, and look, the people that are poo-pooing all over it they're just idiots, right? And they don't understand what actual fans want. And they're writing it to get clicks. That's all they're doing. I mean, that's truly all they're doing.
True.
So, and that's what I've chalked it up to, because I got on Twitter, started arguing with people, and it was just like, dude, this is a lost cause. Like, you either love. It's kind of funny. It's like everybody's like, oh, AK's coming back, excited, and then you have like the people like, he's not coming back to PGA Tour. This is stupid. Like, he's not as good as you remembered. And I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
So, not to get too much into that, but
that's good.
I'll get off my pedestal now.
We'll be back hopefully after this weekend to to talk about it.
I'm going to watch it, though. I'm definitely going to watch it.
Yeah, I'll have to record it because there's no chance I'm staying up that late.
Yeah,
we'll watch.
And he makes his debut on my birthday, by the way.
Look at that.
So I would definitely be up watching that on Friday.
All right, and as I mentioned before, we are 6 weeks out to Masters Monday. God bless,
dude.
Man,
and the commercials are hitting harder. By the way,
they're hitting harder as we go. CBS and ESPN both in on the game at this point. So I brought this up only because kind of throughout the lead up to this, even back in the winter or whatnot, sometimes I'll just have a look at the odds, see what's going on, see if you can catch a number on somebody, whatever.
And you might, like, if someone's not playing well into January, beginning of February.
So I have one bet on the Masters right now. As Hideki was making the turn at Riviera, he was 40-1. I put $5 on it.
Damn, dude. Yeah, that's a steal. Because what is he probably now, like 20-something?
Yeah. So a little bit of closing line value, as they say in the business. But honestly, look, really, these are like perspective bets when you're betting on the Masters at this time. It's probably better for most majors to wait till the week of, because you're going to get guys that drift and you're going to have a better idea who's playing.
No, but if you feel good about somebody and they've just like they're about to win a tournament, or you feel like they're going to win a tournament, you kind of want to grab them because those odds are going to.
Yeah, and there's a ton of corollary with Riviera winners and Augusta National success. Obviously, Hideki's done both. You got guys like Bubba, Phil, those guys.
Rom.
There's a ton of that, and then also there's a pretty big trend about just current form going into the Masters, and guys that win earlier in the season have a lot of success at Augusta.
Well, and then we talked about it last week too. Is like Riv is a pretty good measure for like how you're going to play on major golf courses, and I don't think that's any surprise that a lot of guys that have won there have gone on to win the Masters. So I think that's a good bet.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? We'll take a flyer on this. Turns out he went on to make, like 5 birdies or whatever on the back nine and won. So that worked out. But
he was unconscious on that back nine, by the way.
Yeah. So that I have that in the bag already. Just kind of scrolling through, there's really not much that stands out. I think it's insane that Bryson is at 28-1 right now. Just wild.
Yeah, that's the thing is like it's not even like he's got like good course history. He's really never played Augusta well.
No, not since he was
since
amateur.
That whole par 69 thing or whatever the hell it was that he said, or he said like par 68 or something like that.
Something like that.
I think I saw something that was like he's like plus 17 since he said that. By the way,
yeah, it's not been good. so that was kind of surprising to me. Just kind of scrolling through. I mean, maybe like, so special invite, Joaquin Niemann, 50-1.
It's not terrible because he's somebody that's like kind of one of those guys that can just kind of get hot.
Yeah.
Like,
I kind of worry about, short game. Like he hits it low.
Yeah, he does.
And I feel
he doesn't have a lot of trajectory variances, I guess.
Yeah, so I maybe it doesn't quite suit him that way, but I mean, it feels like a good number on a guy that's playing really, really good golf, even though it's not, quote unquote, in the competitive landscape. Other than that, I mean, it's just a big bunch of guys that are in that 20-1 range right now.
It's
no
funny.
one's separating.
And I don't know if it's like Twitter, and there's like a lot of betting people on Twitter now that kind of put their cards out there. But Vegas has got like a really good read on the room of like who, and obviously, they do their research too, right? But like they have a really good, it would be like someone random, right? That doesn't maybe even have course history, and it's like they just kind of read the room like this guy's going to be popular, and their odds are shit. And it's been all year. And I'm wondering if it's like has something to do with Twitter where they're like kind of getting on there. It's like,
sure,
yeah, this is popular. Like, okay, well, we think he's probably 40-1, but because we think that people are going to hammer this guy, like maybe he's going to end up seeing like 28-1. Like they've been doing it all year. Some of these odds are like, dude, I can't like. Do I think he might win? Yes, but like I can't take him at that odd, right? Like to win a golf tournament of 145 people or whatever the hell playing them. It's just so they've had a really good read. I've messaged a couple people that do like betting cards and stuff like that on Twitter, and they're like, these odds all year have been kind of shit. Like,
yeah.
You used to be able to find that one guy. You're like, oh damn, they messed up on this one. Like. This is a shitty. They did not put the right odds on this guy. This guy has a legit shot to win, and it just hasn't. They haven't had any of those this year. And then you top it with like triple digit odd winners winning this year, like 4 times or something like that this year. So
yeah, I mean, even a few years ago, just before betting was legal and stuff, but I'd still listen to shows and whatever for fantasy content.
Like at this point, Vegas owes us a bone. Like throw us a bone.
It used to be like you had like 3, 5, whatever guys in like certain ranges or whatever, right?
Yeah.
There's like 12 guys in the 20s.
Yeah.
Like in the plus 2000s right now. Like that's.
Well, it's like Justin Thomas last year. He got down to like, plus. He was like 80-1. And I'll take it. But he's not even playing that well. And he starts out the tournament like 16-1. No way, dude. I'm not. Yeah. There's no chance I'm taking that. Like 0 chance.
Right.
And maybe they're doing that because they've just been cleaning up on these long odds winning, and maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. I have no idea. But the odds dispersions this year have been a lot different than last year. The finding the bargains have not been as easy as it has been in years past.
Yeah.
Like Knapp might have been the first one that was like people had a feeling – and he had a decent odd number next to him.
Probably true.
Yeah.
Before we get off the Masters real quick, so there's kind of 3 guys that are standing out. Scotty, plus 800. Rory and Rahm are both plus 850.
Yeah, see, I'm not taking that.
If you had to take one right now, 6 weeks out.
Scotty, Rahm, or who?
Rory.
I wouldn't trust Scotty's putter on Augusta right now.
I feel like it's Rahm.
So. It's definitely Rahm.
Yeah.
There's no way I would trust Scotty's putter. No chance. Because you can ball strike your way around that golf course, but eventually it comes down to. I mean, we've all seen it, right? All the highlights, guys making putts. He's just not doing that right now, and that's what it ultimately comes down to. On that, you cannot win that tournament by ball striking your way around that golf course. It helps, definitely gets you in position, but he can't make anything right now.
I just think you can win at Augusta that way, but I think you can't win. I don't know. You can win it by ball striking it, but I feel like winning a major and having how bad his putting is almost impossible.
Yeah,
because you're going to have to
on that course, especially.
Yeah. And when you're in the field with that many guys, like other guys, someone's going to make putts. Like if you're just not going to make any putts.
What is Brooks's?
That's what I was going to. The last thing I was going to say.
Because I really feel strongly about him winning the Masters this year.
Plus 1,600.
Not terrible.
I feel like that's going to be a number that's either going to stay right there or maybe drop a little.
Or if he like wins this week. If he wins this week at Jeddah, it's the next thing you know, he's like plus 900.
Yeah, he might be.
So it might not be a terrible idea to take him before the next couple LIV events.
Yeah.
Because if he wins one of those, he's dropping. Like, it's going to drop.
I think you're right. Because Victor's at 12. I could see him joining, that territory, maybe getting
like, he's going to get a green jacket. And it may not be this year, but it's going to be eventually.
Yeah.
He's too good at majors to not have one.
I agree with you. Totally.
Like, you know what I mean? So, and he came so close last year. And Rahm just kind of took over. But, yeah. I like that. Plus 1,600. I might throw a couple bones on that.
This is that means we're about 6 weeks out from our 1 year anniversary.
Damn, that's crazy.
The lost episode.
That's so great. The lost episode.
Our first episode was supposed to be a Masters preview. It turned out to be a Masters recap instead.
Oh, before I learned how to handle technology a little better than I do.
That's all good.
Now.
It was a good practice run.
Yeah.
And with that note, I think it's time.
Yeah, let's take it to the patio.
We are heading to the patio.
I got a good one this week. So in honor of my birthday, it's Friday, March 1st.
My birthday.
What is your favorite birthday memory that for you?
Wow.
I have one that just like completely stands out, but I'll let you answer first.
Oh man. It's so tough. I've got a very memorable birthday moment. Not necessarily my favorite one. It's highly embarrassing.
No, maybe it did. Maybe. Let me rephrase that question. The most memorable birthday memory you have.
Okay. Susie threw a surprise birthday party for me once. I can't remember if you were at this or not.
I feel like I might have been.
It was at our old house. I think it was my 25th, maybe.
I was there.
Okay. Well, we went out to dinner or whatever.
Yes, I was there. No, I definitely remember it now.
Yeah, and unbeknownst to me, the entire house is filled with all the people I love, friends, family. All the lights are off, everything's dark, whatever. We come in, the way that house worked out.
I know. Keep going. I know the
basement is around back in the garage. I don't know how I didn't know. I guess you guys like all parked on a side street, so there were no cars I couldn't see, Anyway, so we get in there and there's
I parked like a fucking mile away, by the way.
Yeah, it was a ranch, so like you go in the back or whatever and up the steps to the main level. I'd had a couple. I was looking to make an amorous venture with my wife. We were married, and thank God I didn't use any kind of highly vulgar language or anything here. But long story short, man. This is like, because I'm an English nerd, so the way I phrase this, and I'll never forget. So I'm like messing with her on the steps and like trying to convince her. I said, all right, I have a proposition for you.
Yeah, I knew. That's exactly what you said.
Do you want to do things now or later? And she's like the whole time just trying to fight me off and telling me to be quiet and all this stuff. And everyone's upstairs and they all hear it. Everybody hears it.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Everybody hears it.
Yeah, like I was trying to remember. I'm like, no, I was definitely there. And then when you said you walked in, I'm like, no, I remember this vaguely. Like you say, like, or vividly saying that, and like I remember like looking around the room, like, oh my god, dude, like put the clothes back on, like. Yeah,
and so there were no clothes removed or anything. But anyway, she finally, down boy, got me off, whatever, and we go up the steps or whatever, and everything's pitch black, and I just heard something, and like I'm in my own house, I was like, what the hell, and I like turn around. Lights go on. Everyone is like surprised, crying, laughing. Her dad instantly comes up to me. It's like, that's my daughter now. It wasn't. It was all funny, but like, I mean, her grandma was there for God's sake. Like everybody heard this, and it was just. And
I remember I was like kind of close to the steps, like, but not super close, and I heard it.
Oh, I was loud. I was not quiet about any of this.
It's so crazy to think like 25 was like just like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's why when you were like, I had a surprise, I'm like, okay, I think I remember this. Yeah. And then when you said something about, I was like, oh yeah, I remember exactly that because me and Daniel were sitting there like, holy shit, this is definitely something I would do. Like,
yeah.
But I would be like, I would have no clothes on when I did it and like walk up the stairs. Like that's what I would end up doing. But
Oh,
I remember that. Oh, yeah. That was pretty good.
It's like my subconscious knew there were people in the house.
I have a proposition.
Yeah.
That's one way to put it, I guess.
The most memorable birthday moment I have, for sure.
Oh, God.
Oh. What about you?
So this is going to sound cliche, but it's not. My 21st birthday. So it all started. So we were traveling for golf. This is when I was in college, traveling for golf. We were actually going out to California for a golf tournament. It all starts at the license bureau. So I'm like, my license is expiring. I'm flying. Like, I have to get it early, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I can't get it the day of my birthday. Like, I have to get it now. So I go to the license bureau in Tiffin, Ohio, and for whatever reason, this entire town is like narcs, dude. Like, if you're drinking underage, like, they will find you. They will find you and sniff you out, and you are in trouble. Like, the whole fucking town, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I show up at the license bureau and I'm like, hey, I know it's February 26th. I'm leaving out of town on the 27th to California. I need a new license because I'm not going to be able to get it. I'm going to be out there for my birthday when it expires and I can't fly back with an expired license. So she takes my license and like, this is how the whole story, I need to preface this because so it leads into my birthday. So she comes back. She goes, you can't drink until March 1st. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking flying, lady.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get out to California and have an expired license. She's like, I'll come back. And like 30 minutes later comes back. She's like, all right, get over here and take your picture. But you still can't drink until March. I'm like, I fucking know. I'm getting on an airplane tomorrow. I just need a goddamn picture license to get on the fucking plane and come back. That's all for all I care, just give me a temporary one that I can get on the plane with. And I don't care if I can't drink until March. I'm not going to, it's not happening. Right. And when we go on golf trip, like it's a business trip, like in the beginning, it's a business trip. Like, we go out, we do a practice round. Like, we're not going to be drinking out there or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, finally get my license. We go out there, play in this tournament. I play, like, absolute dog shit on the 28th, which is the day before my birthday if it's not a leap year. The next day, come out, play like, I mean, these kids from California are like, why are you playing so bad? And I'm like, I haven't fucking seen grass in like 3 months, dude. Like, leave me alone. Like, it's my fucking birthday. I'm playing like trash. I had like 8 3-putts that day. So we get done, and we have the entire night. We're not leaving till the next day. At this point, the tournament's over. Love my coach, right? I'm like, dude, like, I have like 3 holes left. And for whatever reason, he was always hardest on me, but he always like let me say what I wanted to say. He was like, what are we doing for your birthday tonight? I'm like, dude, we're only like 2 hours from Vegas. I've never been. I think we should drive to Vegas.
Oh my God.
And he goes, if you, he gave me like I can't even remember what the proposition was. I didn't do it, right?
Yeah.
So we get in the van, and I'm like, okay. Like, he's like, so what are we doing tonight? I'm like, I still think it's Vegas. Like, I don't really think there's anything else. So he's like, we're not. He goes, and he was like, known. Dude, it could be 12 o'clock in the afternoon. He could have 30 hours of sleep in the last 2 days. That motherfucker would find a way to fall asleep behind the wheel. Like, or doze in and out. Like, could be middle of the day, he'd find a way to fall asleep behind the wheel. So he was like, I can't, like, that has bad news written all over. Like, not just because of Vegas. Like, we could control ourselves. He's like, we could go do a nice dinner or whatever. But he goes, going there and getting back for our flight tomorrow could be an issue. I was like, whatever. Just pick a nice restaurant. We'll go. We end up going to Benihana's. No. P.F. Chang's. Let me rephrase that.
Classic mix-up. Okay.
Sorry. So we go to P.F. Chang's. We're all there. I go to the bar. He's like, dude, go get you a beer. Like, it's your 21st birthday. I go up there. I hand this lady. She's like, I need your ID. Can't give you a beer. I'm like, That fucking lady at the goddamn BMV gave me some shit ID and I can't even get a fucking beer. Like, that's what I start losing it, dude. And the lady behind the bar is like, I think I need to know the story behind this ID, because I was like, well, here's the story. Like, this lady told me I couldn't drink until my birthday, but I needed a license to get out here. So she's like, I was just fucking with you because it's your 21st birthday. We have a great dinner. We all go back. We walk to this. So our coach goes to bed, and we're like, look, it's my fucking birthday. Like, so we go down to the sketchy gas station in San Bernardino, California, get a 24-pack. We go back to the hot tub, just start cranking. And we don't fly out till like 11 a.m. Like, it's not like an early flight. Yeah. We're only like an hour and a half from the airport. Cranking. Next thing I know, I am fucking passed out in the hot tub. All my teammates are gone. I'm sitting in this fucking hotel hot tub. Nobody else around me. Empty beer cans everywhere. And I'm just like, it can't be that late. I look at it. It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my God.
And by the way, I used to room with our coach on the road.
Yeah.
And I get back, and he was just like, you're a fucking idiot, dude. Like, I don't think he ever knew exactly what happened. But I just remember waking up in a hot tub. I bet I spent 4 hours in that hot tub.
Oh my God.
I know it's a different way for some people to spend their 21st birthday, but most people are like, I went out to this bar. We got the PF Chang's. We got fucked with by the bartender, and I thought the BMV lady fucked me with my ID, and then I passed out in the hot tub.
Brilliant.
It was great. Wouldn't have it any other way. Oh. That was most memorable by far. Man. Not even close.
Yeah, there's been some birthdays.
It's funny because I was out of town. My 21st birthday carried in for 3 days when I got back in Tiffin.
Sure.
And it was just a nightmare. I don't think I did any homework for 8 or 9 days. None.
You just free rolled.
Just rolled it into 3 or 4. Yeah. By March 8th, I think we were done celebrating my birthday.
Man, I'm on a heater. I can't stop now.
But 34 does not feel the same as 21. I can tell you that right now.
No, not even close. It's funny you bring up air travel because that could be a potential answer for this one. So,
oh, God.
This is more of an airing of grievances segment than it is a patio beer segment.
I can appreciate that.
Look, I don't know what other cities, most people listen to this probably from around here, but there may be other people in other cities. The whole idea of going back to the office and downtown environments is a big thing that's happening right now. A lot of companies are calling their people back in a post-COVID world.
Oh, yeah.
Getting people back into,
real life
spaces, the real estate they pay for. And so with that, there's been just a tremendous volume of people downtown that were not there previously.
It's funny. I noticed that. I was down there probably 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn, it's more crowded down here right now. But I hadn't been, I don't think I'd seen it. I don't think I've been down there in a business day since prior, real close to COVID, maybe July of COVID.
Yeah.
It's definitely crowded.
To give you an example, the parking garage I'm typically at, a different one than the one your company took over that time.
Unless there's a Ruoff sales rally.
No. There's 6 levels to this thing, and I typically would find, I get there around 8, typically would find a spot on the 3rd, maybe 4th on a busier day level. I'm struggling on the 5th and 6th now. I'm there at 8.
Yeah. It's definitely more crowded down there.
So to turn this into a question, I've run into social etiquette.
Oh, God.
Now, I think it was bad already, but I do feel like post-pandemic things got a lot worse.
Oh, it's terrible. Oh, it's way worse now.
So
way worse.
I'll start off with mine. It has to do with the parking garage. I can't tell you how many times, and it's not like I'm somebody that whips through there, but I do drive a truck, so I've got a big car, right?
Yeah, I don't know how you drive that downtown.
It sucks, to be frank.
Drive a smart car or something.
Yeah, I wish. But making the turn, these parking garages are tight, man. They're the turns are strong, whatever. But when you're I get it, pedestrians have the right of way and all that. But when you're there's a basic societal understanding of When you're in a parking garage and you're a person walking outside of your car, go to the edges. You
should be bumping up against the fucking bumpers, dude.
Yes, walk along the cars, walk along whatever wall might be there, whatever. These people right now are just like free rolling it right into the middle of the thing, and I'm like turning these corners, and it's like I'm about to hit somebody. And then people want to get all pissed off at you, like you're doing something wrong. Like, dude, you're walking in the middle of the road, essentially.
Like, I should see, like, salt marks on your pants. That's how close you are to the bumpers.
Yeah, so today, people just ignore crosswalk signals. They just go. I'm like, it's a green light. I'm going 30 miles an hour, and I'm slamming on my brakes because you're walking in the middle of the street. Everybody's got their headphones on now, so no one's paying attention to anything around them.
For the record, my parking situation at work is so much simpler than this, by the way.
Look, the one thing about changing jobs to go and work downtown, the parking is like, the commute and the parking is tough. I went from like a 10-minute commute to a private parking lot to...
I get mad when I catch a bus.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
that's your biggest struggle.
Yeah.
But I guess, long story short here, what societal etiquette issues have you run into? Would you like to end?
Where do I start? I mean, there's so many of them. I truly, truly believe that number one is the dude that stands up right when you fucking gate, when you're flying, and tries to like cut line. Dude, I will tell you this right now. And I've done it before. I will stand my ass right in the fucking aisleway. You are not getting past me. Like, I've done it.
That's good.
And I've had a guy like, hey, man, I need to get through. Like, the fuck you do? No, get back to your seat, dude.
You and 150 other people, pal.
Yeah. Like, and it's so funny. It always happens in, like, an airport that you're not going to have a connection, right?
Yeah, it's everybody getting off their stupid Allegiant flight into Florida.
Yeah, like, I get it if you're in Atlanta and you're like, well, look, I've got to get to this flight to...
Yeah, tight connections.
I've got to get to this flight to Orlando and it takes off in 40 minutes. Like, dude, go.
Yeah.
It's always... I would never do it there, right? I would never do it in Dallas. I would never do it in, Atlanta, Chicago, nothing like that, because someone might legitimately... I've been in that situation...
Yeah, there's no stressful.
But, the funny thing is, like, I've asked the flight attendant, like, look, I've got 40 minutes, or I've got 35 minutes. I've got to get the fuck off this plane. And usually they're like, I'll come get you, and then you can just kind of follow me up the aisle.
Yeah.
I ask. I don't just do, but I do ask. But it's always funny. It always happens, like, landing in Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. It's like, you don't have a connection, dude. Like, what are you doing? You're in a hurry to go get your bag.
Yeah, and then you go see them and they're standing around the baggage
claim. Yeah, it's like, congratulations, you made it no time in front of me. Your bag's still not out here. That's number one. That is always, and that predates COVID.
There's honestly, there's an entire airport division. Like, I think we've
there
talked
really
about it
is,
before.
but that one is like a big one.
Yeah, the people that crowd the gates, like when they're doing boarding, like,
and you're like, dude, you're Group D.
Yeah, bro, you're in Zone 4.
They haven't even got to the Sapphire members yet. Like, calm the fuck down. Like,
I will not lie. Like, when we're traveling with the kids, like when they say like anybody with strollers, and so I'm like,
yeah,
yep, I'm going up, man.
We don't even have a stroller kid. We still take a stroller with us.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm taking advantage of this while I can, because the rest of you
get mad about that. By the way, I've seen some looks. I'm like, and I always put like a middle finger down by my bag.
Just like a subtle.
It's just like the people that are getting mad.
Yeah.
So I kind of subliminally like flick them off.
Right.
Because they get mad about that. Like, especially the people back in the D group. There's some rowdy people back there. They're buying the discounted tickets. There's some rowdy fellas back there.
Yeah. The people that stand on the moving walkways get all the way the fuck out of here.
Oh my god, dude! I don't even.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're supposed to walk on the moving walk. Like, it's a speed walk.
Correct.
So if we're going off airport, because we could go, I could go all day about airports. Like the guy that doesn't take off his belt. Like, it goes on and on. Is this your first time? Like, is this your first beer, dude? Like, take your fucking belt off. Take your shoes off. Like, what are we, like 15 years post shoe bomber? Come on. Like, what are we doing here? If we're going outside airport, because those are just too easy. Those are easy pickings. Four-way stops are another pet peeve for me.
Yeah.
People have, they've been around since like the 1800s, and people still don't know how to do them. You get that guy that comes rolling in hot.
Yep.
Doesn't, and there's no stop, right? And you're just like, oh.
Guess you're going.
Your world, we're just living in it, pal. Like, four-way stops are, and it's gotten worse since people have started going back to the office. I've noticed.
The flip side of that version of the four-way stop is the
roundabout?
No. A four-way stop, but it's like the Midwest polite off, where like you're waving the person and they're waving you, and
everybody's waving
each other and no one goes. Yeah, there's that part too.
But four-way stops I've noticed have been really, really, really bad.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, especially because people are like, they are not working at home anymore. I don't know if they're just like driving brain just completely left them. Mm-hmm. And that's a possibility. But I've noticed four-way stops have been way worse recently, within the last couple of years than, say, before COVID.
Yeah. Another one that's bad that you learn like in elementary school, they teach you like, okay, you walk on the right side of the hallway. People just willy-nilly just walk wherever. And like I'm walking on the right side of the sidewalk or whatever, and someone's coming down me and they're on their left side, and we're just having like a standoff. Like, no, I'm in the right spot. You need to move. Yeah. That's like a general basic. Oh.
It's like you're driving but with no car. That's how it should be treated.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's bad.
That's a simple one.
One I just had a run-in with, and not that I care. I like, obviously, what we do here, like, I don't care to be on video, but I think the situation that they have a camera in is not ideal. And I just ran it like literally a week ago. This like girl was like snapping pictures of people in the gym. It's odd.
That is
but
odd.
Like cameras in the gym should be like an immediate no-go.
Yeah.
And it's taken off since COVID. Yeah, I remember I used to go to LA Fitness on, here in Westchester every day. I did it for 4 years. Never saw a single camera set up. Never saw anybody take a picture, ever. Post-COVID, fast forward, I see a camera in the gym once a week.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, it doesn't matter to me, right? I'm thinking of other people that might be subconscious about it. Like, it's a place that just should not have cameras. And honestly, if you want to videotape yourself, and I have no problem, like build your brand, whatever, like obviously don't care about that. But that's built for a personal gym, right? Like get a gym where it's just you. Because people don't want to, like there's a lot of, like I don't care to be in video, but there's a lot of people that do care that they're in the video.
Yeah.
Like that's a big thing now. And I know I'm probably definitely going against a hefty group here, but the whole camera in the gym thing in a public gym, to me, is not a good look for the person doing it, and not for me, but just for other people. Because I know how other people are. Like, there's a lot of people that it might take the most amount of courage they've ever had to just step foot in there, and then all of a sudden you got this person filming squats like no one else knows how to fucking do a squat. Like first off, it's never anything crazy like some workout move that I've never seen before. It's always like, oh, here's me deadlifting. No one fucking cares, dude. Like, you're the 8th deadlifter I've seen on fucking Instagram today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I that is the one that I've noticed since getting back in the gym. I'm like, why do we have cameras set up everywhere? Like, if I wanted to fucking film myself, I'll just film myself. Yeah. That's a weird one.
Yeah, I think so. It's not a weird thing, but I would say just something I would love to see go away is, in general, the amount of like people taking videos and pictures in like events and public play. Like,
just like be in the moment.
Yeah, I very vividly remember a few years ago when we took Zach to Disney, and like the fireworks show at the end of the night.
Everybody's got their cameras up.
And they're recording the whole show. Like, are you really going to go back and watch that 35-minute fireworks show on your phone?
No.
It's so dumb.
And here's the thing. You could post it to Facebook. People are going to watch 10 seconds of it and then be fucking done with it.
Right. And
like, they've never seen fireworks before.
I got to, like, put my kid on my shoulder so he can even see because everyone's standing there with their hands above their head with their phone recording the whole thing. It's so dumb.
And honestly, I'll take it one step further. Just not even public events. Just stop recording fireworks. I've seen fireworks before.
Yes.
I don't need to see them on your Facebook page, especially around 4th of July.
Like, I get it if you go to a once-in-a-lifetime concert or whatever, you want to, like, capture a clip of your artist's favorite song.
Yeah, do
that. But also, don't be the person that records 12 songs and posts all of them on your Instagram story for
which honestly could be some kind
minutes.
of copyright, by the way.
Probably.
But yeah, like, dude, like, take one of their famous songs and do, like, a 12-second clip. Done.
Yeah, and
like,
it's also
I'm here.
It's always the people too that are in like the nosebleeds that are taking this grainy ass video. You can't even see what it is anyway. Like who cares?
It's like I think that's Garth Brooks down there, but I'm not quite sure.
Right?
Yeah,
maybe if you're like down in the front or whatever, and you got a cool angle or something.
You know the worst concert for that last year was the Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah,
I saw more fucking 5-minute videos on. I'm like I know what song she sings. I would almost slightly consider myself a Swiftie.
Yeah.
I don't need to see her 5-minute song on your Facebook page. Just don't need to see it. Don't care. Like, don't care enough to see it on your Facebook page.
Yeah,
but like be in the moment, right? I think that's really what it boils down to.
It does. And I ebb and flow on being good at that and not being good at it, but yeah, I would definitely lean more heavily towards
be in the moment. I'm trying to think of anything else.
Oh, there's tons.
I could go on for days.
Tons more. Bathroom etiquette I think has gotten bad again. The number of hands not washed that I've witnessed lately is not good. And didn't we just come out of a pandemic with the whole thing was washing your hands, people? Let's make sure we're washing our hands in the bathroom.
Dude, like the
bad.
whole. I didn't touch anything. Dude, I don't fucking care. There's splatter. There's all kinds of things that can happen.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to touch your pecans, dude. Like,
no. It's horrible.
God, is this a Festivus?
Yeah, this is truly an airing. I told you, I just have noticed some things.
I'm trying to there's so many going through my head. I'm just trying to pick the best one. There's truly not a best one other than like the air. We could go on and on about the airport, but
another thing that I've noticed too, and probably because like smoking has kind of gone to the wayside or whatever. I don't really see like ashtrays and stuff around like you used to. And so I'm seeing a lot more cigarette butts, just like people flicking them, and you know what I mean. And that's not good. Yeah. Look, I can't.
I will tell you this. So on that note, just like in general, I feel like people are drinking more post-pandemic.
Probably.
It's like the day before Thanksgiving, every weekend. Like there's just amateur hour out here, and I noticed that. I went out it's probably 3 months ago. I've never seen so much puke in a bathroom at a bar at like 11 o'clock at night.
Ugh.
It's like amateur hour every night. And I think it's just because like people are drinking more. Like there's been a movement for like sobriety and stuff like that. And, we did the whole dry January thing. But I feel like it's amateur hour a lot.
It could be. Or we're just getting old.
And maybe it's like I notice it more. Like if I'm 23 and I walk in the bathroom like... fresh son of puke. Like, this is normal for a Friday night. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but, like you said, I think there are innumerable things we could go through right now.
Oh, God. Like, so many.
I'm trying. There's got to be a grocery store one that's getting on my nerves right now.
Going into the self-checkout line with like 150 items. That's probably one of them.
That's tough. Always tough.
I've noticed that's gotten a lot worse. But honestly, that's kind of the blame on the grocery stores too, because they don't have a ton of lanes open.
No.
So I'm still waiting for my $10.99 from Kroger because I do self-checkout a lot because I never do like a gigantic shopping trip.
Yeah.
So like I can get it done pretty quickly. I'm still waiting for them to pay for me for checking myself out and paying them money to check myself out.
Yeah.
And bag my own groceries.
I will say I don't know that this is like necessarily an etiquette problem, but this is a suggestion I would have. The produce section, You can't be rolling up through there with your full ass cart and going through the broccoli and the lettuce and stuff. Like, we need like a parking area. It's like a stroller area, right?
Park it.
Park it. You got to park it by.
Grab everything.
Yes.
So your head of lettuce can be held with 9 other things.
Yes. You got to have a home base that you return to, and you kind
And
of
that's
come
what
and
I do. I go around. I have I park it at the beginning. And I go around and get what I need and then come back to my cart. That's what I do.
Yeah, I think more people need to do that, especially with the rise of things like click lists and all this stuff. Like you get those big ass carts.
Oh my God,
there's no
and they do it
room.
at the wrong time too. By the way,
And
it'd be like 1:00 on a Sunday. Everybody's at the grocery. Click list dude is like blocking the whole lane.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like we've done click lists, but dude, it is a burden and a busy time in a grocery store.
Yeah.
And that was another thing post-COVID, right? Like the whole grocery click list, delivery, it's all a burden for people that actually go to the grocery store.
Yeah. Excellent point.
So if you get your groceries delivered, you're dead to me.
You're making it harder on the rest of us trying to go to the store.
Oh, God. We could probably go on for days for that.
That felt good, though. I needed to get a few things off my chest there.
No, I feel a lot better now, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that I was in a bad mood. I'm even in a better mood now.
I know. I feel like I've risen
Just
even higher from my iron
people.
fitting. Yeah, I just had to get that out there. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully I don't hit anybody in the parking garage because,
To me, if you do, it's a complete accident and,
It's on them. I've already made the claim. It's on them. I'm documented. I'll play this as
you need
proof
like a
in
dash
court.
cam or something.
Yeah. All right. Well, happy birthday, early birthday to you. Next time you'll be a year older.
Yeah. God, dude, 34. That just seems so old.
Join me out here. I've been here a while.
God.
Got a few months on your
Back hurts. Like things are aching. It's not great.
Yeah, I'm going to be so sore from just hitting the balls during the fitting tomorrow. Like my entire left side is going to be useless.
Yeah. Good luck waking up tomorrow morning, by the way.
I can feel it like in my forearms already. Like, oh
God.
All right.
Well, take us out of here.
I got nothing else to say. Hopefully you're enjoying some warm weather near you. Again, happy early birthday, Justin. Hopefully you survive the weekend, and we'll be back on Monday.
We'll see.
For episode 46. If not, you know what happened. So, cheers.
See ya. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Back 9 Six-Pack. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Back 9 Six-Pack for all your content needs. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.